So today we're on the eastern side of the river of Bangkok. I forget the name of this road. It's a main freeway, of course, I think. But anyways, this is a place called Thonburi Marketplace. I've never been here. I've actually attempted to come here 2 times already, but there's always so many cars trying to get into this place. But this is the 3rd time and it seems like there's no one here. It's actually a Saturday afternoon and we're gonna take a little walk around and see what's going on in here and figure out why so many people are trying to come here the last 2 times. There's gonna be a Suki Tinoi. This place is gonna be even more crowded once that thing opens up. That's a pretty great buffet, I think. It's pretty cheap, fresh vegetables and all that stuff. All right, let's just take a look around. I'm coming to realize a lot of shops are always playing music, and so YouTube always makes me replace that audio because it's copyright protected. So don't be surprised if a lot of my audio just becomes random music. It's because of copyright protection. Doesn't even work. That's true. Yak turn Tina le need Tina Nyogo. Well, initial impressions is it's a very clean market. This might be the cleanest food market I've ever seen in this country. Even cleaner than Orthokor. So on the perimeter, it looks like there's actual like franchises, you know, restaurants and shops there. And then these are all the little family-run businesses. That looks pretty good. Look at this barbecue chicken. Feel the heat coming off the grills here. That looks really good. I'll come back with some of that. Today's sahat makti suit. Me, Ron. A pet shop way off in the corner there for pet supplies. So this is the problem, there's just not much parking. There might be 500 food stalls here, maybe 1,000, and then there's only 500 parking spots. So that's the problem with this country. When they build new buildings, they kind of forget that people have cars. So parking's always an issue. This is a big place. going on here? The Cheese Baron. Interesting mix of cheeses. Fruit down there. See what this durian costs. It's quite expensive durian. Okay, so fancy little middle section of this stall. Well, I gotta say I've never seen chandeliers in an outdoor food stall market, but that's a fancy chandelier. I want to look at the fresh baked bread here. Gonna take a little segue. First is metering out some dough. We have some bread dough proofing in here. And then we have some fresh baked breads. I'm gonna have to come back for some of these. The prices are pretty good. 50 for a large, 20 for a small. That's what I'm guessing is what is saying there. Miniature pizza looking things for 50 baht. Ta-da. So yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna come back for that maybe. Got a fresh tray of stuff with bacon on it. I'm gonna get one of those.ครับเอานี่หนึ่งแล้วก็ใช่ครับ Okay, we'll try these out back at the table. Alright, we got these two fresh breads here. The small versions. Let me get this out of the bag. It's still quite hot, being fresh bread. I honestly don't know what flavor the plain one is, because I can't read Thai very well. Even if I could read it, I wouldn't know what the word meant. So let me tear off a little bit of this. It's kind of hot though, and it's impossible to tear something with one hand as I hold the other. My other hand is holding the camera. So very soft and moist. Alright. There's a mild sweetness to it. I guess it'd just be considered a sweet bread, but I'm sure it's not made out of brains. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely not sweet like a dessert, but it's definitely sweeter than a plain bread, so pretty good. Very soft. Now this one had some bacon on it. As you can see, there's some bacon, and sadly I think there's ketchup on there, and possibly even mayonnaise or cheese. Alright. I don't get the impression that this bread has any sugar in it, so it's just a regular bread, but the same consistency as the other one. And let me tear this bacon off if I can. Alright, so here's the one with a little bacon. Yeah, that's real bacon. But that's also ketchup in there. So even though I love bacon, I don't really like this one because it's, for me, I think ketchup is a low-grade condiment. If it was salsa, I would like it a lot more, but for some reason salsa isn't taken off in this country, even though Mexican food and Thai food have very similar taste with the limes and the chilies. So for me, I actually prefer the sweet bread. But anyways, both of them are fresh, so that's the key thing. Alright, thanks guys. There's a really sweet Thai dessert bar here. Interesting. Let's not forget this little section here. Look at this. This has got to be good. Like the freshly fried bananas and plantains. Very nice. If there's people waiting in line to buy your food, it can't be that bad. Back to this bread. Sorry. Stuffing with some raisins and some other stuffings. Kneading machine. Another nice thing I'm realizing here is the width of the walkways. So you can actually have people standing on both sides ordering food, but there's still enough room for you to walk past all the people waiting for their food. Whereas most other places, it's just so congested it gets annoying walking around a market. So flower shop. Just go down this. The last row of this warehouse. That looks pretty good. Some lady. Some barbecue kebabs. Oh, real kebabs. Raised pork. Bunch of dried pork. What's in here? Got a bunch of soups. Okay. Barbecue action. Let's see what are these guys selling. Oh, wow. So they're selling whole barbecued fish and shrimp. Look at these guys. So that's a big shrimp. Pretty big fish. So these fish are encrusted with salt, but since the fish has skin on it, the actual inside meat isn't very salty, but you can obviously take some of the skin if you want to salt it up. So that was the first giant warehouse. I don't know if you really call these warehouses, but that was the first building. So quite a lot. I have a feeling this might be one building, this next one, but it looks quite huge. So don't know where to enter it. I guess we gotta go in where these guys are going. I see. So this might be like more the supermarket side of things, where you're buying raw ingredients. Alright, probably not going to walk down every aisle here, just go through some main sections. Some fresh produce here, obviously, fruits and vegetables, but then we have a whole rice section. So naturally in every Asian country you're going to have a big selection of rice. Honestly, I don't really notice much difference. You know, I can tell the difference between Japanese rice and Indian rice, and but frankly, rice is rice to me. I suppose it'd be like a non-alcoholic person would consider whiskey, but people that really love rice, I'm sure they're willing to pay more for premium rice. got a bunch of durian and other fruits, of course. So right now it's 2022. Historically, a lot of the Chinese would come to Thailand and buy a lot of durian, but they found some COVID in some durian samples, so I guess China is now not importing durian from Thailand. So hopefully they'll lower the price of durian here in Thailand. There's obviously a lot of videos on durian. It smells a little funky, if not like sewage, but it tastes like ice cream. It has the consistency of ice cream, so at least good durian does. Really bad durian is spongy and dry and gross, but a good durian is really rich and flavorful. Alright, so here's that was all fruits and vegetables. Now we have the meats. Let's go look at some live fish. Bunch of shrimp. So at these places selling, seafood, you can they'll cook it as well if you want to eat freshly cooked shrimp or something. You can tell them to cook it, and that could be either steamed or deep fried. So like if you want to eat this fish, just tell them to cook the thing. You can even do that at Tesco and Macro, I think, the big department store kind of places. So those two just paid to have some food cooked, and they're eating it fresh from these tanks. Let's go down this row. There's a big grouper there. See the variety of fish you can buy at this place. Ooh. So look at these shrimp. These shrimp they're approaching lobster size. Like, look at that thing. That thing is bigger than my hand. It's around $33, I think, a kilo, or 2.2 pounds. Catfish. Oh, fresh oysters. These are those mantis shrimp. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people come to this side and they're just eating the freshest of the seafood, like that lady there. Oh. Sprightly catfish. Not sure what those kind of fish are. There's some freaky looking eels. They look like snakes. These are snake heads. And some dying tilapia. Purchase some fresh squid here from this lady, and then have it cooked up for us. So this particular squid is 180 baht. Ni 1 kilo to 100 gram. คิดว่านี่กิโลหรือเท่าใด
อันนี้180นี่คือ 1 โลใช่ไหม
Yeah, so 1 kilo is 180 baht, so that's like $6, so a little less than $6. So again, a kilo is 2.2 pounds. Let's see what else this lady has. Manarai kai?
ไข่ปลาหมึก
These are egg sacs of squid. We have bigger squid here, bigger squid,
อันนี้นะคะ
shellfish. Really big. So a variety of squid. Just sook, right?
จะซื้อไปทำผัดกะเพราที่บ้าน
Oh. I guess we will not be cooking that up. We're gonna cook that at home.
เนี่ยมันเลย
I don't know what she is thinking, so sorry. Let's see what else we can find. Yeah, Tom video now. I want to see.
ก็กุ้งได้แล้ว
Small eels, catfish, some of those, some bigger eels. These eels freak me out. They look like snakes. What is this? Some sort of pork, but I think he's cooking it in giant clay pots. Oh, look at this. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Nung chin tao dai kap?
มี160 190 บาทครับ
อะไรรสชาติไม่เหมือนกันหรืออะไร
หมูกรอบเหมือนหมูกรอบ
เอากรอบ
เค็มๆหน่อย
โอเค เอาถูกกว่าถูกกว่าไม่ราคาถูกกว่าราคาเท่าไรครับ
นี่160 170 180
160
190
Okay, we're gonna try this stuff. He was explaining some of it's a little salty, some are crispier than others. I'm just going with the cheaper one. See the inside of this thing. Alright, so it's got a clay pot burning coals, and I think there's lemongrass. Yeah, that's lemongrass in water. So lemongrass flavor should be coming up through there. Alright, just chopping this thing up. There actually is bone in there, so it's going to have a lot of flavor. But that no bone. Some sauces. So this is half a kilo almost, and it was around $5. Okay. Alright, we'll cut back to this. Cucumber.
อะไรจ้าทำได้นะครับผม
นี่6 บาทอะไร
1 กรัม 6 บาท
Oh boy. Nope. I do.
ให้น้ำให้ดูแล
Oh, pak mung tuk mak. Yeah, the Thai. Okay. Baby corn. They have a durian specialist here, different species. Some of them only grow to a certain size, so they all look pretty nice. So be careful when you buy durian, because some people will sell it by the kilogram. Other people will have a very similar price, but it's only for 100 grams. So 1/10 the amount. And so you always have to ask if it's for the kilo or 100 grams, or you're gonna get ripped off. Today. We'll cross over to the land-based animals, or fake-based surimis. Yeah. Naturally, not as many people are buying meats at this place. Okay. I don't think there's a real reason to go through this entire place. It's all the same fresh seafood or cut up pork and beef. So I'm gonna cut away and we'll get to ordering some food and showing you some foods that we pick up. Thailand is blessed with fresh fruit, and fresh fruit that tastes so much better than fruit in North America. North America has leached all their soils out, so the fruit is flavorless. I've said this in a different video. If you eat a mango from Thailand and a mango from Mexico, it's night and day difference. You know, the Mexican ones are a bit sour, but you can get a really sweet mango here. So we're going back to the prepared food section. So I think it's funny that there's a McDonald's here when there's like so many better places to eat. Cái này phải bằng chi again. Cái đó gai yang. Mi gai yang chi nan. So one of you guys, I appreciate this viewer, he commented that I'm always showing my wife here walking in front of me. Here's the deal, I don't know where I'm going. She knows where we're going, so I have to follow her. So if you see her in the videos, that's because she knows where she's going. I'll try to, you know, focus away from her, but this is such a wide angle camera. This is a DJI Osmo Pocket 2, by the way, if you want to start filming stuff yourself. It's a gimbal, so it's quite a stable video. But there's also another saying, a happy wife is a happy life. So go with the flow if you're a smart husband. Yes, Gonna come back to this chicken. This chicken has a good odor. A few people waiting around. Yeah, just sang ni noi. I gotta wait in line. I gotta say, that stuff looks good too. Ao nung cup, ao ni cup. Check up. I think they're actually different flavors here, but since I don't know what she's saying, I'm just picking the dark one. Looks like it has more flavor. Or maybe that one. Eh, whatever, I'm sure it's good. So I think this whole chicken here is 200 baht, so that's $6. And I think this is actually a natural chicken, which is why it looks so small. It's not a giant Purdue hormone injected, living in a, you know, cage all of its life kind of chicken. I think this might be a free range natural one. Yeah, nice. So that one's not cooked. You put it back. Oh, my pen, I kidney. Oh, my coach. Borommaratchachonnani, my Thonburi. Oh, alright. Maybe she's reheating it. Okay, song. Gonna get 2 sticky rice. So we'll see what the total is. Using banana leaves, so that's good. Better than plastic. And then it's going into some waxed paper. So, she's doing 2 free wings for making me wait. So that's nice. Okay, it's out our cup. Okay, 220 baht. Okay, cup and cup. So all that food was like $7, or basically the sticky rice was 10 baht each, or 30 cents. And she threw in those 2 free wings for making me wait, so I'm pretty happy. I gotta get some sort of fiber, maybe some som-tum. Tonggen som-tum. we're back to this Tum Tum place here. Now Tum Tum cow pot. So what's the name of this place? I have no idea what that says. It'll take me an hour to figure out what that says. But here's the menu. Focus. No prices though. But I think those might be on this piece of paper. Alright, so sadly, if you can't read Thai, you're gonna have a hard time ordering here. I'm more impressed by this. That looks good. And salmon. Ribs beer. Half a rack of ribs, 200 baht or $6, and then full rack around $12 or around 400 baht. So you can see that sign. Looks pretty good. I'm going by ATM. I had ATM. Okay, ผมจะไปที่นั่น ผมต้องซื้อน้ำ Alright. See this lady do some som tum. Too much of a glare. So I'm getting some tum corn, and Thai is called corn cow pot. So, you know, she didn't mash up the corn because that would become disgusting. So she just mashed up everything before, and that looks pretty good. I specifically don't get the dried shrimp. I'm not really a fan of the shrimpy flavor. Oh no, but she put it on anyways. Well, maybe that's salmon. That could be actually salmon. This would be a first for me. Give them on salmon, ใช่ไหม? No, there's shrimp in there.
ไม่ใส่กุ้งแห้งนะคะ
ไม่เป็นไร ไม่เป็นไร
กินได้เหรอ
นี่ปลาแซลมอนกับหรือทุกสิ่งกุ้งแห้ง
พี่เดี๋ยวทำให้ใหม่กินได้นะคะกุ้งแห้ง
ผมจะกินไม่เป็นไร
กินได้นะ
Yeah กินได้ไม่เป็นไร
ไม่เปลี่ยนได้นะคะ
Yeah ไม่เป็นไรผมจะกิน So that is all shrimp. Okay เข้าใจกุ้งผมจะกิน
มีช้อน
ช้อน
ช้อนอยู่ตรงกลางนู้นนะคะเนี่ยใส่ดำๆเนี่ยค่ะ
So apparently that is all crushed shrimp. So it's gonna have a very salty, seafoody flavor. They offered to make it again without the shrimp. I think a lot of times they do that by instinct because probably 99% of the people get it with shrimp. But you know, I'm okay, I'll eat it. So utensils are over here. So 2 spoons, 2 forks. Yes. And then there's a really hot vat of water here if you want to kill off any germs. That is a really hot bath. Okay. So we're at the table. I think this is all we're gonna eat here. Obviously we're not gonna eat all of this, but some take home. So each of these som tums, this is my corn som tum. This is 90 baht. Comes with a little bit of salad pieces as well. This is som tum with fermented crab. And for me, this is absolutely disgusting. I have a hard time even tasting this. It's so seafoody. I mean, fermented crab. You can imagine what that tastes like. Here's the pork. Let's try some of this. That piece was a bit dry. This one definitely looks a lot moister. And some seafood sauce. Yeah. That was a moist piece right there. The sauce has lime juice in it, so it's a bit sour. It's not very spicy. It's quite good. Alright, so let's try it without the shrimp. This one's very sweet. She put a lot of palm sugar in there, but also you can taste the fresh lime juice. It's not like that pre-packaged lime juice with all the weird preservatives. So, quite fresh tasting. Now let's try it with some shrimp. Well, that actually wasn't bad. There's many types of dried shrimp in this country. But this dried shrimp doesn't have a lot of salt in it, so I'm okay with it. It doesn't have an overpowering salt flavor to it. Or maybe it's because this thing is so sweet that it cuts the salt flavor. Alright, so now we have some chicken. Obviously well roasted. There's a decent amount of herb flavor, but I don't really taste much of the smokiness that I expect from a piece of barbecue. But I clearly saw that they were using coals. But here we have a little spicy chili sauce. Let's see if this helps out. I apologize, I have to actually eat this stuff. I can't really say I even tasted that sauce, so I gotta try it again. Alright. That sauce it's definitely spicy. Yeah, the after effects. Yeah, that's a spicy chili sauce, but I like it. It's got some sugar in it, and probably some lime juice as well, but the overpowering sensation I get from this is spiciness. I don't even remember what this stuff is. I usually don't eat it. Let me dip some chicken in it. I think it's supposed to go with the pork. It's like a sweet, burnt caramel taste. So I'm not really sure what that is, but it very often comes with this type of pork. Alright, so that's our food for today. In general, if you can't find something good to eat at a place this big, the problem is you. This again is probably the nicest food market I've ever seen in this country. Everything looks like it was built last week, and it's properly planned out so you can walk around. The only thing I didn't see was a bathroom. Maybe they're on the perimeter, but the prices seem pretty decent. Seem cheaper than Ortakor, which is a kind of a tourist trap. So I'm a big fan. Probably come back here again in the future. Okay, we got a bag of fried things for 35 baht. That's a lot. That's pretty heavy. So what is in this bag? I don't know. This is a banana. It's lightly crispy on the outside, but not very crispy. Alright. What is this thing? This looks like a sweet potato. That's a big chunk of sweet potato. Oh. This one's crispier. So the batter looks like it has sesame seeds in it. Yeah, I don't really taste much of the sesame seed though, because the sweet potato is so sweet. This one, pumpkin, right? For some reason, this one isn't crispy at all. Different batch, I guess. So I'm not sure how old these are. That's it, 3 flavors. The pumpkin one, not really a fan of. There's some pandan leaf in the oil as well. I think actually the sweet potato is probably the best one, then followed by the banana. Yeah, but the banana is really mushy. So, you know, there's many types of bananas in this country. I don't know what type this is, but it's mushy, but it's sweet. Alright, that's it for this one. Alright, we're gonna get a fresh fruit shake from SP Melon. Seems to be like a buy one get one, or buy something and get something for free. Okay. So we got a cantaloupe or a honeydew melon, and then you can get a free cantaloupe for 80 baht, or basically 40 baht each, which is like $1 something, $1.30 maybe. Oh, so that's a lot of actual melon going into these. So you get the fruit that's in the cup, some sugar syrup. Okay. And this guy's selling some durian here. This one's 200 baht, $6 for those 2 pieces. Around $10 for that much. That's it, man. Blended. That's a small durian. So I like this SP Melon, how they used a bamboo carrier instead of a plastic one. Let's see how these things turn out in their flavor though. Well, I mean, you saw the real fruit going into that. It definitely tastes like honeydew. And that definitely tastes like cantaloupe. I think I actually like the cantaloupe one more than the honeydew, but they're both obviously good. I would say that half of it is, at least is real fruit. So very good, SP Melon. So the bathrooms are at the corner of the market. Very clean.